What's up guys, MainManSWE here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always. So below me here, in the bottom left corner, you'll be seeing some footage of Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution, because it will tie in quite a bit to this video. Incredible game, he's playing as Kage Bear the Ninja. So yeah, check that game out if you haven't already, but I'm going to get back to it. So, as the topic suggests, the title, I've seen a lot of videos lately and Twitter complaints by pretty high profile FGC members who are shitting a little bit on FGC developers, while often not so much shitting but feeling that we should demand more. Why are so many titles released with lackluster content, too little offline stuff, there are no tutorials, so few characters? Why is it suddenly so noob friendly? You've seen this a lot. Why are you guys dumbing down the games? There have been a lot of complaints, and many of these can feel kind of justified, but I'm going to look at mostly tutorials today, I think, and well, we're going to look at gameplay as well and why that has stagnated. And it can be explained right through this game and what we have today. I really liked a video by Majin Obama, I'm gonna link it below in the comment section, where he talks about this game, Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution, and how it already in 2003 had a very, very well made tutorial mode. And why, if they did this in 2003, why can't we get it today? What the fuck? And I'm gonna explain why that is. Why we don't get this sort of stuff today. And it's actually very, very simple. This game here, Virtua Fighter 4, who is arguably, I mean, I love this game, and if you're going to be completely objective and honest, this is one of the greatest fighting games ever made. Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution, the depth of the fighting is pretty much second to none. I'm a huge Tekken fan, but holy hell, if you've never dove into this game and looked at the depth and the diversity among the cast, and when I say diversity, I don't mean in, you know, skin colors or do they have a peepee or a vagina. I mean in how every character really, really stands out in a very unique way and is approached in their own very meticulous and not identical way, you know, very, very unique way. And it has a lot of content, and as I said earlier, it had a very, very elaborate and well-made tutorial mode that explained all of the mechanics of the game in an in-depth way. And in 2003, this was way above everyone else, ahead of everyone else, and above. And it had an awesome customization mode with an endless amount of items. Graphics were pretty damn good, you know. It was just a complete package in 2003. An incredible fighter. But you know what? Just didn't sell very well. It was not a complete disaster, but it was not Tekken. Tekken didn't have a tutorial mode. Nothing explaining the also extremely complicated gameplay. Tekken just outsold this game, you know, many times over. And that's why this game that did many things so well, and probably one of the greatest fighting games ever, the Virtua Fighter series, it's basically dead now. You got Virtua Fighter 5, and you got Virtua Fighter 5 Showdown on... It got a PS4 release eventually, didn't it? But haven't heard anything for many years. Are we gonna get a Virtua Fighter 6? I'm guessing not. Virtua Fighter 5 didn't sell as well as it should have. So why don't we get elaborate tutorial modes anymore? Why are games being dumbed down? You only need to look in the mirror. You only need to look in the mirror. It's the market that decides. It's not rocket science. If something doesn't sell well, people are gonna say, well, we probably shouldn't focus on that anymore. And that is exactly what happened here. This is every FGC, everyone who complains on Twitter or YouTube, FGC member, This game is their wet dream. It's not dumbed down anywhere. It's highly complicated. It's highly fair. It's very well balanced. All characters are super unique. It has a huge tutorial mode. It has an enormous amount of content. Incredible customization. Lots of varied stages. Good graphics. But the game died. Why did it die? Well, because it didn't have a visual flair. The hardcores loved it. It's still hailed as the fucking best fighting game ever, pretty much in Japan. But it just didn't sell. It didn't appeal to the casual gamer. Where Tekken did. Why? Well, because Tekken had the flash. People don't want the tutorial mode mostly. People just want the visual flair. It didn't have explosions. It didn't have bouncing boobs. Yeah, why is Dead or Alive doing so well? Well, because it tries to attract casual gamers with pretty cheap tricks, you know. Or the graphics are pretty damn good. And that's what Tekken has always been so good at. It's like, not only do you have very strong and high calibrated gameplay, but you also have very cool, distinct personalities like Heihachi, Kazuya, Jin, who are carrying the story. Jun, well, used to have Jun. And cool bosses. You have Brian, Paul Phoenix, Law, King. You know, many of these characters have become, you know, pop culture phenomenons. You know, especially Heihachi is so recognizable with the hair. But Virtua Fighter never really had those characters. And it's too bad, because when you look at the gameplay of these characters, it is second to none. You know, this game deserves a lot of credit. So again, why are fighting games the way they are today? Because fighting games are becoming more and more niche. As I had my talk with Mr. Katsuhiro Harada, bless his heart, told me that, of course, in the 90s, you had a boom in fighting games. Every FGC developer wanted to make a fighting game. But 85% of those series are gone today. And a few very creative and strong series remain with us. Namely Tekken, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Guilty Gear. You can name a few here, but compared to what it used to be, it is nothing. So, is it really, you know, a surprise that those who are still alive, you know, want to reach the casual gamers, want to reach the majority audience, so that, you know, we can keep going with fighting games? So, I know that Majin Obama in his video says that if we just have a tutorial mode in the game, it will mean that more people understand the game and people stick with the game. And I used to think this myself, but I just think that's just not true. At least according to what Katsuhiro Harada told me, that they have statistics and data on that. Putting a tutorial mode in a game, most people in the menu don't even click the tutorial mode. The absolute overwhelming majority do not use it or click it. It's of no interest to the absolute majority. So saying that a tutorial mode will make more people stick with the game, no, it is simply not correct. And also, you can actually look at Mortal Kombat. You know, super successful with casual gamers. I don't think any other fighting game reaches those numbers. At least I haven't looked at the numbers, but this is me guessing, speculating. It just looks like Mortal Kombat is doing extremely well. And that's due to their characters, their story, and their fatality gimmick, is what I think. And a lot of people say, oh, they put in a very elaborate tutorial mode that is really well made. But it certainly has not made people stick with the game. Tekken 7 is above Mortal Kombat in the Steam charts. Even though Mortal Kombat certainly has sold more units, is what I'm thinking. So the vast elaborate tutorial mode is not making more people stay. or play the game competitively. Just think about that. And Tekken 7, no tutorial mode. Classic Tekken. But has seen a big boom in esports. And more people play it on Steam charts and stick with it. You know, so really, is really a tutorial mode here something that will make people stick? Just doesn't seem like it to me, if you look at it objectively. It's like, I think what a fighter needs is a strong story mode these days that is very cutscene driven, that was started by NetherRealm Studios with, was it Injustice or Mortal Kombat 9 maybe? Extremely well made, high production value. You need a big budget to do this, obviously. And of course the visuals and the flash is very important. And yeah, what did Katsuhiro Harada do with Tekken 7? Improve the visuals. Slow motion, sparks and explosions, rage drive, you turn blue, kaboom, rage arts, collisions, boom, camera zoom-ins on high impacts, camera shake, you know. The life bar has sparks now, you know, because casuals like that sort of thing. And it's very important to reach them. This did not reach the casuals, but it is pound for pound, you know, one of the best fighting games ever, but it's gone. You know. And it's like Harada said, his philosophy to look at the majority instead of a minority. And I guess it's the minority who scream for tutorial modes or don't simplify the game, you know. It's a minority who screams for that. Visuals or restore. And I think those were the points I wanted to cover in this video. A lot of people also feel that FGC is rather stagnant. People are not creative anymore with the games. And it's like, well, these days, what is commercially viable is usually stuff that people recognize. It's like Hollywood even is driven more today by sequels and reboots. You know, working with recognizable, already established franchises rather than doing original things. And it's because people vote with their wallet, you know. It's not that Hollywood are bankrupt creatively. There are plenty of creative people there. It's just that people vote with their wallet. People did not vote for Virtua Fighter. They voted for Street Fighter 4, which resembles Street Fighter 2 a lot, which a lot of casuals remember very fondly. Street Fighter Third Strike to me was where the gameplay was at, and the designs, you know, fantastic characters, incredible game, but it just didn't sell. So what did Capcom do? Scale things down when it came to the gameplay, bring in the old Street Fighter 2 cast, have them more goofy looking in my opinion, and it sold like crazy. So when you wanna, rather than blaming the FGC developers, in some ways, you know, have they made mistakes somewhere? Oh, certainly. But in the end, it's the consumer that drives the direction, and that's why we are where we are today, you know, with Virtua Fighter 4 dead, Street Fighter having stagnated basically. It's just not very interesting to me. Tekken, thank God, is doing well. And I know there are many other fighters, I just don't play them, good fighters. So yeah, I just wanted to discuss that a little bit. I hope you found it interesting. I just wanted to give a different point of view, because it's just so easy to say, oh, fighting game developers suck cock, they're so lazy, creatively bankrupt, no effort, no tutorial modes, and you know, everyone just applauds. And I just think it's a little bit more complicated than that. You can add that variable, but there are many more variables to this cake. So, hope you enjoyed it, and hope you have a lovely day. Take care.